Here with Rushford Mayor Les Ladewig. Tell us about your background.
I grew up on a beef farm in Warren Township of Winona County. Graduated from Lewiston High School. Spent a little while at Winona State College, and then went into the transportation business prior to joining the State Patrol in July of 1970. And then I spent 31 years with the State Patrol. The last 8 of those years was in supervisory and management positions, so I retired from there in 2001.
Okay. So since 2001, what's been keeping you busy?
Well, for a while there, it was just doing some of the retirement things that you usually do, and loaf and do around some stuff at the farm. My father still has that farm, and we still have some work to do there, so we spend some time up there. And then about 2001 or 2 or whatever it was, I got asked if I would be a candidate for the city council, and I agreed. I spent 11 years on the combined Rushford and Peterson school board. 7 of those, I think, was before when it was just the Rushford High School, and then several after it became the Rushford-Peterson High School. So I've been involved in that arena for quite some time.
Okay. And I'm asking this question because I don't know, but and I don't know that everybody in Rushford would know, but how much does the mayor make per year?
Per year. I can tell you this way better. I haven't done that yearly or annual math, but I get, the council gets $60 per regular scheduled meeting, and any special meetings I get $20 more than that, so I get $80 per meeting. Now that's just the council meetings itself, and then I go to the electric commission meeting and the planning commission meetings, and that is part of that salary. It's not $80 for each one of those meetings, so it's about $1,300, I guess, if you do the quick math.
Okay. So obviously it's not, you're not doing this to make money, you're doing this for something else. Why do you want to be the mayor of Rushford? Obviously you're currently the mayor, but why do you want to run again to serve another term?
No, just to back it up and go over a few of the things. I guess probably in the last 2 years I've probably put in 30 to 40 hours per week in addition to going to some of those meetings. And that's just working at various aspects of the recovery that we've been going through. I've been involved in over probably 450 meetings, either on a local level or state level, or meeting with federal people. I've had many trips to go to St. Paul, either to the Capitol or going to the Commissioner of Deeds office to work out details of the flood recovery. So it's an interesting thing, and it's a responsibility that I don't take lightly. And I think that's part of that responsibility is why I would like to continue as mayor in this job. I think we've done an outstanding job. We've been, I think, tremendously successful at this point with the recovery, and so we still have a lot to do.
Okay, what do you feel has been your greatest accomplishment in the past couple years?
Foremost, I suppose, just being able to be available and to be of assistance if somebody called and needed some special attention. And also the fact that we had so many of our residents that were involved and affected by the disaster that needed help, have never experienced such a traumatic emotional event in their life like that before. So it gave you a pleasure to be able to help them and to help them get their bearings back about them, if you will, and to help them recover and get back into their houses. And also as far as the businesses is concerned, we spent an awful lot of time and energy making sure that we could get the funding for those people so that they could get back up and running. And that's part of the success that that we've had. And contributing to that success, first off, I'd like to publicly just thank the city staff. They did a tremendous job. They worked a lot of long, hard hours. The homeowners, the business owners. Lest we not forget the volunteers that came to our aid, because without those volunteers and the contributions that they did make to this recovery, we'd probably still be bailing mud out from different parts of town. But the value of those contributions, either in person or monetarily, can never go unnoticed or unappreciated. So we just need to continually thank those folks for everything that they've brought to Rushford.
Okay. This may be a little bit more difficult to answer, but when have you failed? And if you could describe the circumstances and how you dealt with and learned from that experience.
When have I failed? Throughout the flood, are you talking in relationship to the recovery process or the flood? Or?
In general, any way you want to answer it, really.
Well, I think we've all learned something as we travel throughout life. I can't just put my finger on any tremendous mistakes that I've encountered that have been overwhelming to the point where it turned out to be a disastrous thing. But if you talk in terms of flood recovery, one of the issues that we learned from that, and I regret saying that the trailer court people probably didn't get the attention that was needed at the time of the flood. There was some issues with some hazardous waste and some chemicals in the building and the facility next to it that prohibited us from moving forward with that. And I looked at that, as I look back, as a failure probably on our part to maybe to get that rectified a little bit quicker than what we did.
Okay. How do you foresee the future collaborations with Rushford Village?
Well, hopefully we can continue to work with Rushford Village. We have an agreement with them now for the wastewater treatment plant, and that's going to be expiring in the next 3-4 years, so hopefully we want to be able to renew that and work with them to furnish whatever needs that we can. We also are in the negotiation process and have had some initial contact and discussions about furnishing them well water from our freshwater supply and through our new treatment plant, and hopefully we'll be able to make an agreement there that will be viable for not only the city of Rushford but also for the village.
Okay. So you survived the flood recovery process. What do you see as the next step for the city of Rushford?
Well, my goal, and I think it's the goal of the City Council and the EDA, is to promote economic development. We need to get jobs into the community and to stimulate the retail vitality and also the residential business or the residential development. Without jobs, we are going to become a little bit stagnated, and in view of the fact that we lost 175 jobs just not too long before the flood when TRW left. We were grateful that JMW purchased that building for a variety of reasons. Number one, they brought another business back to town, or 2 businesses actually, and that in turn created job opportunities for some of the people that were out of work and didn't have a job. So slowly but surely we're working back to that. We've got a bunch of, as a result of the flood and some of the funding that became available, we've got about 10 or 12 brand new businesses that have developed and come alive in just the last year or so. And so they've created jobs, and little by little we're going to try to make an attempt to get back at that 175 or greater up to where TRW at one time was 400 to 500 or even 600 they had employed. So that's one of the things that I personally want to achieve if elected mayor again for another 2 years, is to see what we can do to foster that job growth, entice people to come to Rushford and take advantage of our workforce. It's a hard-working, diligent bunch of people, and they'd be grateful to have a job.
Okay. What great attributes do you think your opponent brings to the position of mayor? And I'll be asking him the same thing.
Well, I'm not taking anything away from any opponent. I don't really personally know that much about the young man, other than that he did grow up here in Rushford. I know his family, his father and his mother, some of his relatives, and